So you're in your early 20s, you're probably still in college, or maybe you're transitioning out of college, or maybe you're in your early 30s and you are just feeling overwhelmed with all the different changes your life is going through and all the different expectations the world or society appears to have for you. Maybe you're just feeling a little bit insecure or unsure about the future and you would like a little bit of guidance. Well, I am here to be your fairy godmother today. So if you don't know me, my name is Habiba Tunau. I am a medical doctor in my early 50s. I have 3 young adult children and also a content creator here on YouTube.
The advice I will be sharing will not be in any particular order. We're just going to get right into it, okay?
Learn to be happy in the present moment. Yes, life is messy. Yes, life is imperfect. Yes, your life doesn't look the way you want it to be. But just remember that you've gone through a lot. You will continue to go through a lot. But if you keep waiting until you check off the boxes for the next thing to make you happy, you're going to be miserable for a long time. So again, learn to be happy or find some joy in whatever it is that you're doing at the present moment. Trust me, I get it. I've been there. It's called arrival fallacy, where every time you're doing something, you think at the next event or at the next chore or at the next destination, I'm going to be happy. I can't wait to be happy when I graduate medical school. Ooh, I can't wait to be happy when I get to residency. Ooh, I can't wait to be happy when I have my first child or when I get my first job. But the thing is, with real life, at every destination, there is going to be another challenge, another thing that makes you stressed out, another thing that makes you feel overwhelmed or insecure or unsure. So you have to learn to be happy in the present moment because, again, you don't want to be miserable for the rest of your life waiting to be happy. I know I said I want to be your fairy godmother for today, but as we all know, in real life, there are no fairy godmothers, right? There are no saviors coming to take care of all of your problems. You are the hero of your own story. You are the director of your life. No one is coming to save you. And that's something I had to learn myself growing up. I remember in my 20s, in my early 30s, feeling stressed out, overwhelmed by life, and thinking, you know what? Someone's going to realize that I'm struggling. Someone's going to realize I can't pay my bills. Someone's going to realize how overwhelmed I am, and they're going to come help me. They're going to come give me some direction. They're going to tell me what to do, how I should plan the rest of my life, when I should have a child, when I should get married, when I should, or if I should take that job, just waiting for that fairy godmother. And the truth is, or the reality is, again, there is no one coming to save you. You have to learn to save yourself. You have to learn to save yourself. You have to take control of your life and stop waiting for someone to give you direction. I mean, yes, it's important to ask for guidance. It's important to seek counsel from your seniors sometimes. But in reality, you are the only one that can direct your life or make it the way you really want to. So I need you to tap into whatever power, because we all have power. We all have power. We all have that thing, that magic that other people don't have that makes us unique. I need you to tap into that magic and realize that is your power. That thing that makes you unique is going to help give you direction in your life. Get up and stop feeling sorry for yourself and take life by the horns, because I know you can do it. It's discipline. You have to master discipline. Learning to ignore all the things that you want now for something better in the future. In other words, delayed gratification. If you have not mastered delayed gratification in your early 20s or in your teenage years, it's going to be very difficult or challenging for you to get what you want. So learn to work hard now so you can get the things that you want later. No one will love you more than your mother. That's right. No one will love you more than your mother. I know she's not perfect. Your parents aren't perfect. Sometimes they give you advice that you find frustrating, or maybe even sometimes not the most supportive. But just know that she's trying her best with the information and with the upbringing that she had. Always remember, your mother was once a child too, and she is just a grown-up version of that child she used to be, just like you are a grown-up version of the little girl you used to be. So give her some grace, okay? Yes, sometimes your parents don't always give you the best advice, or don't always seem to fully understand you and what your goals are or what your dreams are, but just give them some grace. And always remember that your mother will always love you more than anybody else on this planet. Now, of course, I understand that not everyone has the best relationship with their parents or the best relationship with their mothers, and some parents are just plain out dysfunctional. I get that. But I'm talking to the people who have had parents who have actually tried to be good parents, but sometimes just kind of miss the boat, or miss, giving you what you felt like you needed. Now, maybe you're in a place in your life where you're actually feeling quite confident, and you just got into the school of your dreams, or you just got into the job of your dreams, or, you're at a place in your life where you're feeling very content. But let me tell you something. One thing I need you to always remember is that you don't know everything. No, ma'am, you don't know everything. In your 20s, in your 30s, hell, in my 50s, I don't know everything. And one reason why that is important to maintain that idea that you don't know everything is because you want to be able to continue to learn. There is so much in the universe to learn. There is so much complexity. Unfortunately, some of the dumbest people think they know it all. We can't know it all. It's hard to keep an open mind and to absorb information if you think you already know everything. Another piece of advice I would give you, and I would have given myself had I known better, is while you're still in college, perhaps your last 2 years of college, or maybe even early on in graduate school, or whatever you're doing in your 20s, before you have to launch into real life, please, please, please learn a new skill. Outside of whatever career you're hoping to get into, learn a new skill, master a new skill, whether it is about real estate, whether it is about starting a small business, whether it's about a clothing line, whether it's about the beauty business, whether it's about social media. Start a small business. Start a small side hustle. Some people call it side hustle. I want to call it small business, but start something where you have built a business for yourself. It may not make money in the beginning, and that's not what this is about. It's about all the unintended consequences and skills that you will pick up during this journey. And who knows? Years from now, 5 years from now, 6 years from now, this can be a wonderful opportunity for passive income. I wish I knew some of the things I knew now, because I honestly feel like I would have started social media or getting into social media when I was much younger and not waiting till later. Well, first of all, YouTube was not available when I was in college, okay? Right? YouTube, Instagram, none of that was available. But for you watching this video, all of these things are available to you now. And even if you're not interested in social media, again, consider starting a small t-shirt business, a small jewelry business, a small hair care business. I don't know. There is something there for everyone. You figure out what it is that you are curious about or interested in. Write a book. Something. There's something you can do during your free time, because I do know even in college, during your last year, you're going to have periods where you have some free time to start a business. Start small. And again, the whole idea is to have passive income that you can tap into later in life. nowadays, in order to be successful, you need multiple streams of income. It's not like the old time where our parents would tell us, focus on being a doctor, focus on being an engineer, focus on being a scientist, or focus on being a pharmacist. What if you don't want to do those things? What if that's not your goal? What if that's not your interest? What if those careers aren't things that you're going into? Or maybe they are. That doesn't mean that you can't today start a small business, to learn very early on how to make your own money, how to be your own boss, how to promote yourself, how to sell your product. There's so many side benefits to running a small business for yourself. Unless you've ever lost someone close to you, when we're young, we think we'll live forever. But let me tell you something. Take care of your health. Take care of your health, okay? So when you're in your early 20s, I think by now you should have had a pap smear, especially if you're sexually active. You should have had a pap smear in your 20s. And of course, things like going to the dentist, believe it or not, poor dental hygiene can lead to heart disease later in life. So see your dentist, get your regular checkup. By now, you should probably have had some basic or routine blood tests. You know, things like, how is your sugar? Are you diabetic? Do you have good kidneys? How is your liver? How is your thyroid? Are you hyperthyroid or hypothyroid? Are you taking your vitamins? Are there particular vitamins you need? Do you know that vitamin D deficiency can contribute to depression and poor bones? Iron deficiency can contribute to anemia and cause you to be unnecessarily tired. Low energy can also contribute to hair loss. So not only iron deficiency, but vitamin D deficiency can also contribute to hair loss. There are a lot of deficiencies that can cause significant problems in your body, and you may not know that you have a deficiency if you've not had a doctor's appointment or a physical, or, you know, relayed some of your concerns to your medical provider and had some routine blood tests. So please take care of your health now that you are an adult or on your way to adulthood. Also, stay away from alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes, okay? I don't need to tell you, I'm sure you already know. Unless, of course, smoking means that you don't mind having COPD or chronic bronchitis, or worst case, lung cancer. Or let's see, alcohol, perhaps you don't mind having liver cirrhosis, and diminished mental clarity and dementia due to alcohol. Or maybe you don't mind having a heart attack early in life. For example, typically when we see a 30-year-old, which is pretty young, or a 40-year-old, which is also pretty young, having a heart attack, the first thing we typically think of, at least when I worked in hospitals in the city, is drugs. We think about drugs, cocaine. Another big reason why you want to stay away from drugs, alcohol, and nicotine is, of course, the potential for addiction. If you've ever met an addict, or if you've ever known an addict, then you know how difficult it is to stop these substances. So why start? Right? Why start? If you want to get high on life. That's what I tell anyone who meets me. They always say, why are you so bubbly? Or why are you so loud? Or why are you so outgoing? Or why are you so much? Because I'm high on life. I am so thankful to be here. I don't need any substances to keep me joyful. I want to have a clear mind. I want to know what I'm thinking at all times. And I don't want to be dependent on anything that's going to be destructive to my body, right? Don't feel pressured to subscribe to other people's definition of fun. What I mean is, be careful when it comes to peer pressure and everybody else's definition of fun. Maybe their idea of fun is drinking or smoking or doing drugs or whatever. I don't know what young people are doing nowadays for fun. But if that's not your definition of fun, don't do it. Your definition of fun might be reading a book. watching television or watching a movie or listening to some classical music or, I don't know, studying. Whatever that definition is for you or whatever that activity is for you, do that. Don't feel pressured by peers when it comes to their definition of fun. Another strong piece of advice I would give you, and I wish I had given to myself strong enough, is to learn to exercise. Part of taking care of your life and your health is learning to maintain a healthy weight. So it's very important that as you transition from college to a job or from graduate school or from wherever you are in life right now to a job that will most likely be sedentary, sitting at a desk and chair, please make sure you make time for exercise. Make sure you include exercise in your routine, because that small frame that you may have right now is not going to last. As you get older, your metabolism, not so great. It's a fact that as you get older, your metabolism will slow down. And so if you're not actively trying to exercise and maintain a healthy weight, you will more than likely gain weight. Not just because of your metabolism, but also again because of whatever career choices you end up with that cause you to live a very sedentary lifestyle, and also having children. So there are multiple reasons, and of course genetics. And of course, food choices. But the point is there are multiple reasons against you that will cause you to gain weight if you don't take an active role in trying to maintain a healthy weight by exercising. Whether it is walking, whether it is signing up for the local gym in your area. Money is very important and will definitely make life easier. That's a fact. However, being rich will not make you happy. So as you're pursuing your goals, as you're trying to get jobs that make more money, as you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life and what life's purpose is, I want you to always remember that being rich alone will not make you happy. So it doesn't matter how many gold watches you have. It doesn't matter how many fancy cars, how many luxury bags you have, how many times you get a BBL, how many things you fill your house with. It alone is not going to make you happy. It's not about the material things. It's about spending time with people you love, sharing experiences with them. If you focus on experiences and doing things for people less fortunate than yourself, you will find yourself very, very happy. So it's not about the stuff and how people feel when they're around you. Life is about taking risks. You will fail sometimes, and that's quite okay. There's nothing worse than regret from not even trying at all. So take that risk, take that challenge. Yes, you may not succeed or you may not accomplish that thing that you set out to do, but I promise you, you will learn something along the way. So take the risk, do it, try it, do something different, try a new perspective, try a new experience, whatever it is. You know what it is, right? You know what it is. Always dress for success. Look your best. Look your best. Put an effort into your outfits. There is a time and place for sweatpants and hoodies and sneakers or tennis shoes. And obviously, when you're going for your typical job interview, that may not be the ideal time to wear those clothes. Unfortunately, people will judge you based on your appearance. That's the world we live in. And sometimes you have absolutely no control over why people are prejudicial to your appearance. Light skin privilege is real. Pretty privilege is real. You have no control, obviously, over your skin tone. You have no control over the features that God gave you. But don't let being underdressed or dressed sloppy be the reason you don't get that job, or be the reason you don't get that promotion, or be the reason you don't move up in life because you couldn't care to put a little bit more effort into your outfit. So appearances matter. Do your best to dress appropriately. And of course, I hope you understand that saying that pretty privilege and light skin privilege exists is not saying that I condone that behavior at all. No, I'm just saying that that's the reality we live in. And of course, like I said before, you have no control over how God made you. They will judge anyway, but make sure you look good while they're judging you. A lot of what you see on social media or on the internet or even sometimes on television is fake. But particularly, I'm talking about social media. Most people are not living glamorous lives. They present to you like they are, but most of them are not living glamorous lives, driving expensive cars, going to exotic places, carrying designer bags, wearing fancy shoes. No, a lot of that is fake. So don't spend your life or don't spend your money wasting it trying to keep up with these people because they are fake, let me tell you, okay? A lot of them are renting these cars or renting these goods just to wear it, to make content, and then return it. It's not real. Please don't waste your time or money trying to live up to the lives. You will go broke. You will go broke. Many of these people are also living above their means, so be careful. Focus on what is real. Getting your education is real. Knowledge is real. No one can ever take that away from you. I can't tell you how irritating it is to see so many fake experts online. All you have to do is put under your bio that you're an expert in whatever. Everybody is now a writer. Everybody is now a model. Be careful who you follow online because a lot of them are fake. It's so easy now to just plug in whatever title you want under your bio. No education needed, no experience needed, no real life examples to show who's learned to communicate well. And when I say communication, I mean not just in the written form, but in the speaking form. Because you're going to need to communicate well, not just with future employers, but also in your personal life with your spouse. And if you cannot convey your thoughts well, you're not going to be effective in your communication and you're going to get very frustrated, or your partner is going to get very frustrated, or your employers or co-workers will get very frustrated with you because you're not able to effectively convey the information that you want. And of course, written communication is also very important. It's very often that I see people who use very poor grammar. For some reason, schools don't emphasize grammar and punctuation as much as they used to. And I think that's very unfortunate. Learning to write properly and use correct English, I think, is still very crucial, because when you go out into the real world, or especially if you plan on a professional job, how you communicate, how you write is very important. And there's nothing worse than seeing an adult write poor English when English is supposed to be their first language. So I get that we live in a time where technology is available to almost everyone and people use keyboards, electronic devices, and so people no longer have to use pen and paper as much as they used to, and therefore handwriting or proper handwriting and cursive handwriting seems to be a thing that's being phased out. There's absolutely no excuse to send someone an email or a letter with improper grammar when we have spell checks and we have all kinds of apps and devices that can correct our grammar for us. Your grammar is not only a reflection of your education, it's also a reflection of your intellect and also a reflection of you as a person. So make sure you are presenting the best foot forward. Analyze your circle of friends. That's right, I want you to take a closer look at your circle of friends. Not everyone that pretends to be a friend or presents as a friend really is one. Does everyone in your circle inspire you? Or do they spend their time gossiping or putting other people down or even putting you down? You know, the toxic friend that spends their time blaming everybody else for their misfortunes. The friend that doesn't want to congratulate you when you do something amazing. The friend that puts you down when you have something positive to say about your life or pretends to ignore it. The friend that is always looking for something wrong that you've done. Let them go. You know the friend. Let them go. There are people in your life that are there for a season and not for the rest of your life. You have to learn to let them go. Surround yourself with ambitious, positive people who challenge you to do your best. So be very careful who you let into your circle of friends. Girl, I had to take a break, a little dinner break. I was getting hungry. Anyway, refresh my makeup. This is my favorite lipstick, Ruby Woo by MAC. Ruby Woo. It's like the reddest, brightest red, but it looks good on all skin tones, I think. Anyway, let's get back to business. Okay, next advice I have is learning to say no. Learn to say no. There is power in saying no. Learn to convey that you have boundaries. Stop being so afraid that people will not like you if you say no, okay? Yeah, I know we were raised, especially as females, we are raised to be people pleasers, myself included. Growing up as a little girl, the first person I learned to smile and be really sweet to all the time and do things I didn't want to was probably my father. My father was a very strict Nigerian, i.e. West African father, and those of us who have African fathers, you know what I mean. So anyway, definitely raised in a culture where females were supposed to be a little bit more quiet and soft and maybe a little bit subservient at times. But also, even living here in the US, I think that in general, most females are raised to believe that if you stand up for yourself, that perhaps people will not like you. And obviously that is false, because when you go out into the real world, you realize that if you are always yes to everybody, they will walk all over you. They will walk all over you. And saying no to people or standing up to people, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends or your peer group, is strength. Because I know deep down there are times where you want to do what they want you to do. You want to please them. But if it doesn't either align with your values, or if for whatever reason you have a legitimate reason why you don't want to do what they're asking, it's quite okay to say, no, not today. I can't do that. Or this is the reason why I prefer not to. Or I would rather not. Or please, no, you know? It's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a strong person. Ooh, we didn't even have the light on. I knew something was missing. I just realized I didn't have my ring light on. A little bit different than the previous advice I've given you. Learn the difference between love and lust. Lust, okay? Let me give you the Merriam-Webster dictionary definition of lust. Lust means to have an intense desire or need or to crave something, specifically to have a sexual urge. As you go through life, I am sure you will have many boyfriends or many people that you desire or many people that you find attractive. Please stay out of trouble by learning the difference between love and lust. It's quite natural to lust for someone, but be careful that it does not lead you into trouble and that you misidentify lust thinking it is love, all right? Lust is not enough to build a relationship. Lust does not mean that that partner or that person is the right person to spend the rest of your life with. A person that is just simply attractive or has money, or that you find somehow, you know, sexually desirable, is not enough to make a partner. So be careful to identify lust different from love. Now I know I've said this in a previous video, but if at all possible, please, ladies, young ladies out there, hold off having sex with him until it is clear that he is committed to you. I know we live in different times and some of you don't believe in marriage, but regardless of whether you believe in marriage or not, I think in order for a relationship to work, you still need some level of commitment, correct? You need some level of commitment and dedication and honesty and trust. And you're not going to get that if you jump in bed with someone so quickly, before they get to know your values, before they get to know your family, before they get to know anything of depth about you. Saying you guys have the same color that you like, or that you went to the same school, or that you have the same taste in fashion, or that he likes the way you dress, those are all superficial. That's not really about getting to know you. Make sure this person knows your dreams, your desires, your fears, your values before you commit to sleeping with him. Now, I know that may sound old-fashioned. I'm sorry. You wanted some advice. I'm giving you advice. If your goal is to have a long-term relationship and perhaps get married and have children, come on, when we're talking about children, we need to have stability in a relationship. We need to know that he is committed to you and you are committed to him. Otherwise, it just creates absolute chaos and absolute trauma for those potential children coming into this relationship eventually. Now I'm talking to the young ladies who are thinking about being sexually active, or those who already have had some sexual activity, okay? When you do have sex, please have the confidence enough to examine him without his clothes on. In other words, turn on the lights. Look at him, look at it, okay? Look at it, examine it, make sure it looks normal. Make sure, and when I say normal, I don't mean like what you're thinking. I mean, make sure there are no abnormal lesions around it or on it. Make sure he doesn't have some abnormal discharge coming out of it, okay? And I know that sounds a little bit ick to some people, but let me tell you, I cannot tell you the number of young women, naive young women that have come in to see me because of an unwanted STD that could have been prevented, because they were too uncomfortable, they were too shy to take a look at it when he asked to have sex. First of all, don't have sex with anyone that you are not that comfortable with. Don't have sex with anyone that you feel pressured to have sex with and you're not ready. Why are you doing that? Stand up for yourself and walk away, or say no. Can we do something else? I mean, you can be intimate with someone without resorting to sexual intercourse. I hope you know that, right? You can be close to someone without resorting to sexual intercourse. But anyway, let's get back to the point. Now you guys are in the bedroom and you're planning to be intimate. Make sure you have taken a good look. Okay, because if he has any discharge that's abnormal, it's going to be a problem. You're going to get something. How are you going to know what abnormal is if you haven't first understood what normal is? So I implore you to get some books, go online, or I'm sure you had, sex ed in school. And if you didn't, I'm sure you can find a book teaching you about human anatomy. Make sure that you understand what the normal human male or female is supposed to look like, particularly their private parts, because I'm telling you, people are getting sick unnecessarily. Now you might be thinking, well, I always use protection, or I plan to use protection. Believe me, there are certain STDs you can still pick up on the skin or around the body that a condom may not protect you from. So again, make sure that before you do it, you turn on the light and you take a look at him, or you take a look at her, and you make sure everything is good before you get to it, okay? And if you are uncomfortable seeing each other nude with the lights on first, or he is uncomfortable having you see him with the lights on, then you have no business at all having sex. I'm sorry, no business at all. So get over that. If you plan to have sexual activity, get over it. Because STDs are a real thing, and getting HIV or getting even gonorrhea, chlamydia, herpes, certain STDs like herpes are for life. Okay? Learn to have manners and proper etiquette. It matters. Maybe in your day-to-day life, proper etiquette is not important, but I'm telling you, as you navigate this world, as you try to move up, there are certain spaces you will enter that will require you to know how to eat at a table, what proper cutlery to use, how to drink from a cup and saucer, you know, things like that. So learn those things early. I mean, all you have to do is, again, Google it or go on YouTube. You will see videos where people set the table. Also learning the correct language to use when you greet people. Understand how to conduct yourself in a formal setting, because how you act maybe with your peers or your friends or even your intimate family is not necessarily how you may act or carry yourself when you enter a formal setting and are well dressed for an occasion, right? And crude and vulgar behavior is just not very becoming for a lady that you're trying to be for. Here's another piece of advice. Older doesn't mean wiser, okay? Older doesn't mean wiser. It should, but it doesn't always necessarily mean wiser. Be careful who you allow to get close to you, who pretends to be wise just because they're older. Sometimes there are older people around us that are just there to take advantage or to manipulate us. So be really careful and trust your intuition. I've had to learn this the hard way so many times, okay? Growing up in a culture where I was taught your elders are always right, never talk back to your elders deserve respect. Anyone older than you had to sort of bow down to and be obedient to. Now, I still believe elder people or older people deserve some level of respect, but I no longer believe just because they are older means they know more than me or that they are wiser. Because honestly, sometimes older people in your surroundings will want to deceive you for their own gain. Sometimes as adults, we have to unlearn some of the things that we learned as children. Don't make long-term decisions based on short-term situations. Let me say that again. Don't make long-term decisions based on short-term situations. And what I mean by that is sometimes we might find ourselves in a desperate situation and we are quick to jump on something knowing deep down it's not in our best interest, but we feel so desperate that we take that choice that's in front of us at this time, right? So for example, you are offered a job that you know does not align with your values, but the money is good. And you rationalize and you tell yourself, but I need this money now. Knowing full well, if you think about it hard enough, that job is not the right job for you. Not all good money is good money, right? Not all money is good money. Another example is settling into a relationship with someone that you know deep down is probably not the right one. But you decide, he has money now. He's cute, he's good looking. My mother likes him, or my father likes him, or he gets along with so-and-so in my family. But he's not the right one for you, yet you're willing to settle and take it. Or this is a man that has put his hands on you 1 or 2 times, or you have seen the potential for him to be abusive, but yet you rationalize and you say, well, he does pay the bills. Well, he did do this and he did do that for me. Again, you rationalize and you're making a long-term decision based on a short-term situation. and you will end up suffering based on this decision that you're making today. So sometimes you just got to walk away from what's in front of you because there is probably something better around the corner waiting for you. Learn about financial literacy. If you're still in college, I encourage you to find a course that teaches you something about finances. A lot of careers don't exactly go into how to manage your finances, but it is a very important skill to have. I, for example, encouraged my daughter, who is in her early 20s, actually she just turned 21. I encouraged her to take an accounting course and also to take a course that teaches about investing. So I think all of those things are really crucial as you come out into this world. Sometimes we learn a lot about our careers and we learn how to be, for example, a great artist, or we learn how to be a great dentist or a great doctor, but we don't know anything about how to manage money and how to invest money, or we don't learn about stocks and bonds or savings, things like that. So do your best wherever you are now in life, regardless of whether you're in your late 20s, early 20s, or 30s, learn something about financial literacy, because this will be your way of investing in your future, investing in your business, investing in your life. I'm sure you've heard the statement, find something or a skill that helps you stay healthy. And we talked about exercise and diet and also taking care of your mental health, but also find something or a skill that keeps you wealthy. And then third, or finally, find something that keeps you happy. I'm talking about find a hobby, that thing that you can do without thinking about making money, that thing you do for the sheer joy of it. Whether it's volunteering, whether it's taking a sewing class, whether it's braiding hair, whether it's learning to paint, whether it's cooking, the options are infinite. You know yourself. Make time for things that you actually really enjoy. If you're really lucky in life, your career might be the thing that also gives you the ultimate joy. But for most people, their career is an opportunity to make money and to take care of their family, and they need something else away from their career or away from their job that gives them tremendous amount of joy and fulfillment. Sometimes we just need to exercise those creative juices, right? Okay. Learn to be comfortable showing up as your authentic self. In other words, learn to be comfortable showing up as your real self. Stop pretending to be someone you're not. And I know in this day and age, there's so much pressure to conform, to look like other people, to act like other people, to almost take on the persona of other people. Just be careful. In all honesty, you will perform your best when you show up as yourself. Don't try to be anybody else but your best self. If they like you, they like you, but not everybody is going to like you, and that is quite okay as long as you like you. You like you just the way you are. Of course, it's important to try to elevate who we are, and it's important to try to be the best version of ourselves. For example, if you're more of a quiet, reserved person, I think it's quite okay for you to be quiet and reserved and not pretend to be this boisterous, outgoing person, because not everyone is meant to be boisterous or outgoing or loud, right? There's a space for all of us. If you're the type of person that prefers to wear your natural hair and you're not a weave person, or you don't like to straighten your hair or chemically change it, then please, by all means, wear your natural hair. They will adjust. Don't talk like other people. Don't pretend you've done things that you haven't done. If you don't know, say you don't know, or say I'll find out. But again, don't ever pretend or fake it, because people who know will know. We can see through that. You will go a lot farther in life as your authentic self instead of a pretend version of somebody else. Learn to network and connect with successful people doing things that you aspire to do, things above what you're doing at the current time or that you look up to. So be comfortable picking up the phone to call them, or be comfortable sending an email or reaching out. Find ways to connect with people that you look up to and that are doing amazing things. Learn to let go that imposter syndrome that tells you you don't belong. If you spend most of your time around people who are not ambitious, closed-minded, negative people who can't dream or can't see beyond their immediate environment, that becomes your norm. So it's really important sometimes to step out of your comfort zone and surround yourself with people who are doing more than you're currently doing and have more resources than you currently do. So that becomes your new norm, okay? Let's normalize successful people. Let's normalize successful women. Let's normalize successful women of color, because there are a lot of them out there. Again, choose your spouse wisely. Choose your husband wisely. Is this the man you want to be the father of your kids? Genetics matter. Family history matters. How much do you know about his family? How much do you know about his emotional stability and what kind of drama you're going to inherit? How much do you know about the drama going on in his family? It will impact your family. Okay? What about his intellectual capacity? What about his education? Again, is this the person you want to be the father of your children? Genetics matter. It's nice to have smart children. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. I know, again, life might be challenging at this time, but just remember, God is not done with you. Sometimes things don't always go the way we planned it. Success doesn't always show up in the way you expect it or at the time that you expect it. But if you continue to persevere, work hard and work smart, more importantly, work smart, I am sure you will succeed. So many times people get really close to what they're trying to attain, and just before they attain that success, they quit. They give up. Don't do that. Don't give up. It's coming. My final advice to you is don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. If you're doing the best that you know how to with the resources that you currently have, some things are just not in your control. Believe me, I totally understand. Whenever I feel overwhelmed, I like to recite the Serenity Prayer. I'm sure you've heard of it before. Most of us know the first few lines, which are, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, right? But I'm gonna read to you the entire prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Living one day at a time, enjoying one moment at a time, accepting hardships as the pathway to peace, taking as he did this sinful world as it is, not as I would have it, trusting that he will make all things right if I surrender to his will, that I may be reasonably happy in this life and supremely happy with him forever in the next. Amen. So I hope you've enjoyed this video or my TED Talk. I hope you enjoyed listening to all of this advice and that some of it resonated with you. Comment below what I said that resonated with you, or something that you found a little bit maybe uncomfortable or did not necessarily agree with, or you have a different take on. Please let me know below in the comments section. I would love to hear, and I really appreciate your time listening to all the advice I have laid out. Don't forget to thumbs up, and I hope I will see you again soon. Bye!